Got a short little scrap yard. Oh, scrap metal video for you, whatever I'm trying to say. Found this off camera the other day. That's a nice vacuum, but it's not all there. So that's got real nice aluminum on it. Actually, at first I thought it was a Kirby. It's not a Kirby. So actually, that when I feel that before I talk, that aluminum's pretty cheap stuff. So it's probably really not worth it to clean up much. It's got a nice motor in there though. You go after that motor that's in there if you want to. That would be the main thing if you wanted to take the time to scrap it out. This scrapyard here just tells people to set stuff out here for them. So don't be monkey see, monkey do. Scrapyards are totally different. That's why some scrapyards might not want you doing that. This scrapyard doesn't take doors off microwaves. I find that kind of interesting. But I'm gonna go get a couple loads and see if I can score some quick cashola. Okay, so if you watch my videos in the past, I've always said I don't take hangers, and there's a reason why. They're lightweight. I mean, if you have thousands of them, they'll start to weigh something. But this is why, because you get a big gob of them like this in the wind with like your mixed scrap metal, and it's just it's an amazingly bad, thing. It's amazing. It's just amazing how they get tangled up in themselves, and they grab like a cord and some other pieces of scrap metal, and it's just a mess. I suppose for me it's even worse because I got limited cargo in one trip. So I'm just gonna leave them there. That's gonna be their own special little place for now. When I found them, they had been taken off of a closet clothes bar, so they were all together, right? They're in two groups, nice and orderly and perfect, and that's what they look like now. Transporting them about a mile. at that. That's a new build. See that first screw going after. It used to be 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has little metal brackets. Look at that. That's exciting stuff, we think. Exciting scrapper development. That's a new bracket. And it's a cheaply made. It's not even welded. It's like a rivet. It's like a really cheap, it's not even rivets. Look at that. It's just indentions. See that? Can you see that? Let me see if I get a good view of that. Look at that. They just had some kind of machine that just punched a little dent in the metal. And that's what's holding that in there. That's cheap. I thought that came apart easy. But hey, that's an interesting. What brand is that? Holmes. Wonder if that's how they're making them now. It's kind of interesting. I actually sent a couple of screws flying. I usually don't do that. They usually don't go flinging off. I think they were the safety screws. I think it's all right. They're tire popper. No. Anyways, I try to keep track of the screws so I don't pop tires. This is pretty good copper right there. I'm not gonna mess with it right now, but when I get into smelting stuff hardcore, I'll definitely take this out of these microwaves. That's like an angel hair wire, so if I try to mess with it right now, I'll lose about half of it, so I'll just leave it on there. I could take the aluminum. Let's take, they haven't hollered at me yet, so let's take the aluminum off. In the scrapping world, man, you can just go, that's kind of like looking through a microscope, right? You can go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, right? Took that motor out of the fan. Motor's worth money, and I can take this aluminum off the motor, and the aluminum's worth money, and then I can take the copper out of the motor, and the copper's worth money. But this, I like these. I like the easy stuff. Easier, the faster, the more valuable it is, of course. These are aluminum. The modern ones are basically all aluminum now. So the wire on top might be copper, but scrap yards around the world will probably be handling these different. The other scrap yard I go to gives me short steel for these now, which would be 11 cents a pound. So it's better than breakage, I guess. Breakage, aluminum breakage would be 10 cents. That's interesting. But there's some nice weight in the metal there. So. So when you get older, that's how you start doing stuff, right? Need a workbench. I'm not bending over all day long, right? So sometimes it's not really to your advantage to do this kind of stuff. There's actually a piece of steel in there that it looks to be pretty stubborn on that one. So some scrap yards might give you clean aluminum for that. But like this motor was 25 cents a pound, right? And then that piece of steel I just threw in there went from 25 cents down to 11 cents a pound, right? So you gotta always account for that kind of stuff. So that's why I don't really like doing some of this stuff, because you start running into stuff that you start putting so much time into, and then you realize, oh, I just made 3 cents. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and can't bend my fingers, right? So anyways, I just kind of showing this to you. That's nice copper there. You can go after that copper. That does make sense to do it when the prices are up. This motor came out of that box fan, so these are some of the better motors I find that are small. Lots of small motors and transformers. You really aren't going to make a ton of money doing it by hand, right? But this is one that I really like for the ease. The ease, if you're going after copper, the ease, and when you actually make some money, that is pleasing, easing and pleasing. So short steel on that brake rotor, and then I think this is a motor for an oxygen machine. Pro Nib Ultra. I thought I saw CPAP or something like that on here. That's a nice motor in there too, if you want to go after that. Heavy guy. I guess this isn't going to be a very short video, huh? There you go. Sometimes it's that easy, right? That's my kind of cleaning. I would have got 10 shred for that at 7 cents a pound with one swing of the arm and one snip of the snipper. That's 25 cents a pound. I just went from 7 cents to 25 cents a pound. That's nice copper on that one too. There's not very much on there, I guess, but that steel's heavy. That's probably 6-7 pound motor. But you get the idea. It's just eye of the beholder, you know. Different strokes for different folks. That's just a little bit of scrap metal I got here. 100 people could probably do it 100 different ways. So I got some nice copper cords. We got about a pound of Christmas lights on there. Their own category. Where I live, you got to cut the ends off like so. Not that big of a deal. Those are brass if you want to go after brass. If you're just wanting to make money, generally it's probably gonna just throw these in with your tin shade. But if you're gonna be smelting and you got a way to other things to do with that, then maybe you can take the time to pull those brass prongs out of there if you like European electrical stuff. The brass, there's a bunch more. The brass prongs and the European sock plugs are big chunky ones. So you always gotta pay attention. It's amazing how different the scrap world can be. Just in the scrap yards in the same town, let alone on the other side of the planet. So, all right, let's go see how much it's worth. Can we find a way to sell plastic? Huh? Can we find a way to make that worth a nickel a pound? Is that possible? Oh, if I had a nickel for every pound of this, man, I'd shoot. Oh. All right. This is plastic with some big extruded chunks on it, and it's got some bolts and stuff, some screws and stuff that are frozen on there. If I had a shop, I would take the time to, you know, get that off there however I could do it, a grinder or sawzall or whatever, but I'm still not set up for doing that kind of stuff, so away with it. Grand total of $14.95. This scrapyard dishes out the clean, crisp $2 bills. I'm not sure exactly why they do that, but look at those. People think those are rare, but they're not. Well, I mean, they might be kind of rare, I suppose. I suppose there's less of them, but I'm pretty sure every bank has this. But anyways. So that's not bad. Just call it $15. It's not bad. I mean, that was just cheap stuff, right? I just had laying around. Cleaning out those motors helped, and I had this in my pocket. So hey, look at that! I put it in the shade. It's starting to get hard again. I had it in my pocket. I got it at the last second. It's basically a pouch full of liquid. But I guess that's it. I sure hope you enjoyed this little video and little tidbits of info I threw out. As always, thanks for watching.